Today is August 1st, 2018. The Buoy 10 season has officially opened. Here we go again. So I will be doing my Buoy 10 updates once again this year. However, it will be done differently, and here's the reason why. This year we have a lower return expected. So let's start off by talking about today. Right now it's early afternoon, and I cheated today. I went out in the ocean. We got our Coho. That being said, the ocean has been pretty darn tough. It's been a little bit on the slower side, a lot of wild Coho, a lot of fish you got to sort through. The bite has not been, well, I guess compared to years past, which leads us directly into this season here for Buoy 10. This year will not be like years past either. We have a very low return of Chinook, and more importantly, a lower return of not just the Thule stock, but also the upriver bright stock. And that is our main constraining stock right there, is that upriver bright. Because there are fewer of those coming back, we're going to have different regulations this year. The regulations for this year is August 1st through August 24th, one fish per person. Not one Chinook plus one Coho, it's one fish per person. Now, we are blessed to have that season. There were a lot of people who put in some hard work to allow us to be able to come down here and still target these fish for that long. There were a lot of ideas kicked around, but we were able to make the numbers work to keep us fishing from August 1st through August 24th for Chinook and Coho. Come August 24th, Chinook is closed from Tongue Point on down to Buoy 10, but it remains open upriver of Tongue Point, and there's just closures as the weeks progress, and I believe the Bonneville on down to Buoy 10 will be closed for Chinook from September 14th on. Now, our constraining stock is the upriver bright. So those fish tend to cross over Bonneville Dam around mid-September, and if they do end up crossing in higher numbers, we could see the Columbia River reopen mid to late September. Fingers crossed. But for now, August 24th, done from Tongue Point on down, and then just closures as the weeks progress. So that is the bad news. The good news is that as soon as that closure happens, it goes from one fish to two fish. So we're not allowed to keep Chinook, but we are allowed to keep Coho, and it's two. And personally, in my opinion, I think Coho eat better than Chinook. It's really fun to catch those bigger fish, but what we've been seeing out in the ocean are large Coho. Today we got a lot of fish in that 8 to 10 pound range, which is great for this early in the season. A lot of people leave Astoria, leave the Buoy 10 fishery with this iconic bridge right here in the background. As soon as Chinook closes, well, heck, for the last couple of years, my last day down here, we've been tagging out on Coho really quickly. So it's a phenomenal fishery that gets neglected just because we aren't able to keep Chinook. So don't feel like you are going to be missing out if the season closes early or even on August 24th and you have your vacation plan to come down the last week of August. Still going to be great fishery. You'll catch a bunch of Chinook, just got to put them back. So here's what I'm going to be doing differently this year for the Buoy 10 updates. We need to be stewards of our fisheries. The whole purpose of reason why I started doing these Buoy 10 updates was because we had very high returns, and I wanted to make sure everyone came down here and experienced this and enjoyed this fishery because it is a blast. This is a world-class fishery with hundreds of thousands of fish coming back, and I wanted everyone to participate in it, and I still do. However, because this year there are lower returns, I need to be mindful of that. This year we did not have a Buoy 10 convention like we have in years past through Northwest Anglers conventions. We canceled that, and that was because of the lower returns that we are expecting to have this year. We need to be careful about how many people, let me think how to phrase this here. Everyone should still come down and fish. Everyone should still participate, but we just need to make sure that the seasons stay open as set all the way through August 24th for Chinook. So this year for my Buoy 10 updates, I'm not going to be as specific when it comes to red can line, 20 feet on the line counter, outgoing tide at 3 o'clock, green flasher with an anchovy. It's going to be more tech tips. So here's how to set up your rod and reel for when you're coming down here. Here's how to navigate sandbars. Here's how my boat is set up. Here's how to read tides and what to expect. Here's how to be safe when it comes to tides and weather, and more broad concepts on how to target this fishery. So it's not going to be as specific this year, but it's still going to be some great info, really important stuff for when you do come down. It will help you find success. But I'm just going to be a little bit more mindful of that this year because we want as many people to participate in this fishery as possible. And if we have, let's say, a really hot bite this weekend and everyone starts talking about it, myself included, we could eat up our Chinook quota too quick and we're not going to be able to catch Chinook through August 24th. So again, we're just going to be a little bit more careful about that this year. So I guess at this point, here we go, another season. I love it down here. I've been down here for about a couple weeks and the ocean has been hit or miss. But unlike in years past we've had the fishery open here from the bridge on upstream. So we had a good sampling size of how many Chinook were in the river. It has not been open this year from the bridge up. So we didn't have any idea, were there a bunch of fish in the river? Are there very few fish in the river? We don't know. So a few guys definitely did stay in the river, and it sounds like a couple of fish were caught. You know, boats are getting 1 or 2 fish, so they are here. And honestly, I think right about now, shifts are starting to swing. Looks like we're getting right about the low slack. And my opinion is that right about now, the first part of incoming over there on the Washington side, it should kick out some fish. I don't know. I'm not sure how many guys are over there, how they're going to do, but we'll see. It's August 1st. It's part of the fun. Again, though, today I cheated, and that's because I couldn't use my customers as guinea pigs. I needed to take them where I knew there were going to be fish. I couldn't go out here and drown an anchovy for a couple hours and go, well, heck, we tried. So I definitely went out to the ocean, cheated. There are some guys who stayed inside and sounds like they're catching fish, so they made a good decision too. But, okay, that is our Buoy 10 update for August 1st. Not much really to talk about except for the seasons, the run forecast, what to expect for this year, and how we're going to be doing things a little bit differently because of the forecast and of the restrictions that we have in this fishery this year. So with that being said, if you have any questions whatsoever that you want answered, feel free to email me. I'll try and get them answered through these daily updates. They're going to be broad. They're going to be covering techniques and tactics, not necessarily a specific, but still be great info. Thanks for watching, and here we go on another, let's see, 6 weeks fishing down here in Astoria. We'll see you tomorrow.